Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Hours Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, I Can Only Imagine 2. So the sequel to I Can Only Imagine. How about that? So if you haven't seen that one, I looked back, I gave it a 7. I forget what it's about, but it's a faith-based movie, I can tell you that. Burt Millard, lead singer of Mercy Me, faces a personal crisis at the peak of his success. As his world unravels, he struggles with his beliefs and inner demons while seeking a path through adversity. Biography, drama, and music. So I know it's based on a true story. At least the first one was, and it seems like it's the same character. John Mitchell Finley is in this. He's the one who plays Bert. Milo Ventimiglia. I don't know if I said that right, but he's in a lot of different things. But he's in this as well. Let's see if there's anybody else I recognize. Nobody else. So Trace Adkins is in it. Oh yeah, Dennis Quaid. I thought Dennis Quaid was in it. So um, we'll see. 7.1 on IMDb. 1,000 is that 1,099. So we'll be 1,100 people to view this so far. So 7.1 is pretty good. I'm excited. So again, it's not for everybody, but usually these faith-based movies don't have a high rating. So that's a good sign. So anyway, let's check it out. See what it's about. Give you a better idea. Let you know what I think. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of If I Could Only Imagine 2. And I went into this thinking to myself, like, I've thought of this before with other movies. Like, the original was based on a true story. And it opens right up and says, this is based on a true story, too. So I was like, okay, well, how much of it was really true? It's like, how did you make a sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based on a true story. Although, find out years and years later, it's very loosely based on Ed Green, or whatever his name is. But I was like, how can you make a sequel? And the sequels weren't nearly any good. So I was thinking, like, very similar. I know different genre and stuff like that, but how could you make a sequel to this based on a true story? Because the original story was based on this guy who, had a troubled childhood and, had struggles, but then this song changes his life. If I could only, I think it's just called Imagine, but whatever. That's the whole thing. Dennis Quaid's and all that, and that was a great movie. So now he's a successful songwriter, singer, top of the charts with that song. How do they make a sequel of it? But and then you get to the end of the movie, and you know how I always love to see the words on the end of the screen, pictures of the real people. We get all of that, and it shows you like some of the big things are definitely real and really did happen. So, I was watching the movie. I liked it. It was good. I could relate somewhat to it. I can't sing or or play any instruments or anything. I don't have any talent that were in this, but I have a son. You know what I mean? And it's not always, you know, rainbows and sunshines, and so this is what this one's really about is like him and his son and a lot deeper than what but it's this father son relationship that I could relate to and so like he's kind of drifted apart from his son. He's trying to get back there. His son has issues. He has diabetes, and so he's always fighting with him to you know test his sugar levels and all that stuff, right? And he's back out on tour. He's got a bunch of kids, but he's out away from his family, so there's that piece going on. Then we have Milo's character, right? And he comes in as the opener for the band, right? But he's a single, he's only a solo act. But he starts to build that relationship with Bart's son, kind of father figure, whatever, kind of take him underneath his wing. And he's got his own story going on, right? So, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. It's not going to ruin the movie, but he's got cancer and you find out a little bit later. So it's that whole piece that's in this. And so, while it's not a very fun movie, it's interesting. It keeps you engaged. And it's worth the hour and 50 minutes. At least it was for me. And it's got a decent message. Um, and so at the end of all this, it's like, okay, what is really true? And his son gets really into music, which he wasn't in before. So like, like what is, and then when they show you at the end, they talk about their characters and how his son did go on to be a solo artist, how Milo and he really did have cancer. Like this is all true stuff. So I think I'm sure there's some small embellishments, but the stuff that you really need for the story was all based on a true story. So incredible way to like there's two different movies written for the about the same person, and two incredible stories that are actually true. So if you're into it's faith based, but I mean it's not over the top. Some movies are way, but I mean all the music is obviously faith based, and so um, yeah, I think it's good for anybody out. Father son relationship in the music, that kind of thing. Now I will say this is just my opinion. The song, so the song, there's another song piece to all of this, and Milo's character has a lot to do with that, being as like he was there for a purpose to have him help write the song and connect everything and make everything great again. And so um, that what I'm referring to is that song. It's supposed to be like the thing at the end. It didn't. I mean the meaning behind it or the symbolism of the song. I felt that, but like the words didn't reach out and grab me. Like I think the first one did. I don't remember, but that's the only negative thing for me. Sometimes they really capture you and draw you in. This one didn't. I was trying to listen, but I don't know. Anyway, that's not important. I was more worried about the sun getting out on stage, kind of thing. So um, there you go. That's what I got. Uh, there's other things, but it's not that important. Who's I knew the one actress who was married to Milo, and she was in Baller. She was like in American Pie, but like band camp, not like American, not the original. So I forget her name, but as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh, I know her. But that was the only other character I knew, or actress. All right, that's it. I've rambled on enough, but check it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.